She was America's girl next door. Legendary actress and singer Doris Day has died at 97.
Welcome back to our channel. Today, we uncover the captivating journey of Doris Day, a legendary figure in American cinema and music from the 20th century. With her wholesome image, radiant smile, and golden voice, she captured the hearts of millions around the world. Yet, Doris Day's story is far from a mere tale of Hollywood glamour and success. Her life was also marked by personal struggles and complex relationships. In May 2019, at the age of 97, Doris Day passed away, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. However, in a surprising departure from the norm, Doris Day had no funeral or grave marker following her death. This decision was a reflection of her personal beliefs and the intricacies of her life. What events shaped Doris Day's remarkable journey? And why did she choose to leave the world in such an unconventional manner? Everything is revealed in this video, so let's dive into the life of Doris Day and discover the untold stories behind her enduring legacy. While the world knows Doris Day as a beloved Hollywood icon, her journey to stardom began in a modest home in Cincinnati, Ohio, marked by early challenges and a profound passion for the arts. Doris Day was born as Doris Mary Ann Kappelhoff on April 3, 1922, in Cincinnati, Ohio. She was the youngest child of Alma Sophia and William Joseph Kappelhoff, a German-American family. Doris Day was named after the famous actress Doris Kenyon. Her father, William, was a music teacher and choir director, while her mother, Alma, was a homemaker. Doris Day had two brothers, Richard, who died before she was born, and Paul. The Kappelhoff family lived in a modest home in Cincinnati, where William worked as a choir director and music teacher. Despite coming from a family with a musical background, Doris Day's life was not always easy. Her father was often indifferent and lacked interest in his daughter. In contrast, her mother was very loving and always supported Doris Day in all her activities. Her parents' relationship was strained due to her father's infidelity, which led to their separation when Doris was around 10 years old. From a young age, Doris Day showed a passion for the arts, particularly dancing. She began showing interest in dancing at just a few years old. Her first public performance made her feel nervous, but with her mother's support, she quickly overcame her anxiety. With increasing confidence, Doris Day started taking dance lessons and soon became a promising young talent in the local community. Dance practice and local competitions helped Doris Day become well known for her excellent dancing skills. She participated in many dance competitions and frequently won, drawing the attention of many in the community. Doris Day was even invited to perform at larger events, building her reputation as a talented young dancer. In the mid-1930s, she formed a dance duo with Jerry Doherty and performed in nationwide competitions. At 14, Doris Day's family decided to move to Los Angeles to seek better opportunities for her dancing career. However, tragedy struck the night before they were set to leave. Doris Day and some friends were out driving when their car was hit by a freight train, resulting in Doris Day's right leg being broken. This accident changed her life completely. Doris Day was taken to the hospital and had to stay bedridden for months to recover. Suddenly, her dream of becoming a professional dancer was shattered. Not being able to dance was a significant blow for the ambitious 15-year-old. However, during this challenging period, Doris Day discovered her talent for singing. During her recovery, she spent time listening to the radio and singing along to the songs of Ella Fitzgerald, which sparked her interest in singing. While confined to bed and recovering from her injuries, Doris Day began to sing along to the radio. Songs by Duke Ellington, Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, and particularly Ella Fitzgerald enriched her recovery. Doris's mother, Alma, quickly noticed her daughter's remarkable musical talent and decided to enroll her in singing lessons with Grace Rain, a well-regarded local music teacher. Grace Rain, an experienced instructor, immediately recognized Doris's exceptional potential after just a few lessons. She committed herself to refining Doris's vocal technique and performance style. Seeing the young girl's promise, Rain offered her 3 lessons per week for the price of 1. Under Rain's dedicated guidance, Doris's skills and confidence grew rapidly. Doris's improvement soon led to her first professional opportunity. She became a singer on the WLW radio program Carlin's Carnival. This platform allowed her to showcase her voice to a wider audience, earning her significant attention. Additionally, she performed at a local restaurant, Charlie Yee's Shanghai Inn, where she captivated diners and further built her reputation in the local music scene. One evening, while performing on the radio, Doris's voice caught the attention of Barney Rapp, an American orchestra leader and jazz musician. Rapp was searching for a female vocalist for his band and was enchanted by Doris's sweet and emotive voice. He invited her to audition and, despite having already auditioned 200 other singers, Doris secured the spot. Rapp saw a unique and heartfelt quality in her voice that distinguished her from others. At that time, Doris was still using her birth name, Doris Kappelhoff. In 1939, Rapp suggested she change her name to Doris Day, as her surname was too long and difficult for audiences to remember. The new name, inspired by the song Day After Day, helped her connect more easily with her audience. This name change marked a significant turning point in her career. Joining Barney Rapp's band opened the door to collaborations with other renowned musicians and bands, including Bob Crosby, Jimmy James, and Les Brown. Her work with Les Brown was particularly noteworthy, as it led to the recording of Sentimental Journey. This song became an anthem for American servicemen during World War II and catapulted Doris Day to stardom. Performing with these bands not only honed Doris's singing abilities, but also helped her establish connections with influential musicians and producers. These relationships paved the way for further opportunities in both music and film. Talent, hard work, and a bit of luck combined to help Doris Day quickly rise to become one of the most beloved singers and actresses of her era. Doris Day did not stop at success in music. She ventured into the film industry and quickly achieved remarkable success. She truly broke through when she landed the role of Ruth Edding in the musical Love Me or Leave Me in 1955, acting alongside James Cagney. This role showcased Doris Day's exceptional acting talent, with James Cagney praising her for the ability to convey simple and direct ideas wonderfully without complicating them. The success of this film solidified Doris Day's position in the film industry and opened many new opportunities for her. However, Doris Day did not limit herself to musical films. She soon proved that her acting skills were versatile enough to compete in other film genres when she took on the lead role in Alfred Hitchcock's suspense thriller, The Man Who Knew Too Much, in 1956. In this film, Doris Day delivered an emotionally charged and dramatic performance, particularly impressive in the scene where she sang Que Sera, Sera, a song that later won the Oscar for Best Original Song. This role revealed another side of Doris Day and confirmed her ability to portray complex characters. Doris Day continued to participate in various film projects, but she reached the peak of her career when she began working in a series of romantic comedies. One of the most famous films was Pillow Talk in 1959, where she starred alongside Rock Hudson. Doris Day's excellent performance in this film earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress, the only nomination in her decades-long career. The chemistry between Doris Day and Rock Hudson created great success for the film, and the duo continued to work together in 2 other films shortly after, Lover Come Back, 1961, and Send Me No Flowers, 1964. In the 1960s, Doris Day continued to solidify her position with a series of successful romantic comedies, including Please Don't Eat the Daisies, 1960, That Touch of Mink, 1962, The Thrill of It All, 1963, and Move Over, Darling, 1963. These films not only brought in high box office revenue, but also helped her maintain her fame and popularity with audiences. Her last commercially successful work was Do Not Disturb in 1965. It can be said that the early 1960s were the peak of Doris Day's career. She became the top female box office star and was the second woman to achieve consecutive top rankings, a feat previously reached by Shirley Temple. Doris Day starred in other famous films such as Please Don't Eat the Daisies, That Touch of Mink, The Thrill of It All, and Move Over, Darling. However, by the late 1960s, with changing audience tastes and the onset of the sexual revolution, Doris Day's film career began to decline. Traditional romantic comedies, which she frequently starred in, were no longer as popular. Although Do Not Disturb still achieved commercial success in 1965, her appeal gradually waned afterward. A few years later, Doris Day finally retired from the spotlight in the 1970s and revealed in an interview with People why she did so. According to her, Hollywood was changing, and she was not happy about it because it was not the town she once knew. However, she remained open to other projects if the opportunity arose. But she also stated that she no longer cared about being in the Hollywood limelight. Thanks to her talent and relentless dedication, Doris Day became one of the leading actresses of her era, leaving a lasting impression on audiences and a lasting legacy in the film industry. Behind her joyful and sunny on-screen image, Doris Day faced numerous challenges in her personal life, particularly in her romantic relationships, which saw 4 marriages ending in divorce. At just 17 years old, Doris Day married trombonist Al Jordan. During this time, she was deeply involved in touring and performing with big bands. Initially, she thought this marriage would bring her happiness, but she soon discovered Al's abusive nature. Just 2 days after their wedding, he hit her over a wedding gift from one of his bandmates. This abusive behavior continued, making her life unbearable. Despite her desire to leave him, her pregnancy with their son, Terry, forced her to stay. Doris later recounted that Al once pointed a gun at her pregnant belly, a terrifying ordeal that continued until she managed to expel him from their home in Cincinnati in 1943. Her second marriage was to saxophonist George William Weidler, who introduced her to Christian Science. They wed on March 30, 1946, but the marriage quickly dissolved, ending in divorce on May 31, 1949. Shortly thereafter, Doris briefly dated future U.S. President Ronald Reagan, her co-star in the 1952 film The Winning Team. She fondly remembered Reagan for his charm and eloquence, qualities that made him well-suited for a public career, but their relationship was short-lived. Doris Day's third marriage was to film producer Martin Melcher on April 3, 1951. They met during her tumultuous escape from her first marriage, and she believed she had finally found lasting happiness. However, after Martin's death in 1968, Doris discovered he had mismanaged her finances severely, leaving her in debt. Additionally, Melcher had signed her up for The Doris Day Show without her consent. In a 1995 interview with OK Magazine, Doris shared how her son, Terry, helped her navigate these difficulties, leading to a successful 5-year run of the show from 1968 to 1973. She later won a $22 million lawsuit against Melcher's former business partner, Jerome Rosenthal, for fraud and malpractice. Her fourth and final marriage was to Barry Comden in 1976, a maitre d' at one of her favorite restaurants. He won her affection by providing meat scraps and bones for her pets, knowing her love for animals. However, their marriage faced challenges due to lifestyle differences, leading to their divorce in 1981. Barry often complained that Doris cared more for her animals than for him. Doris Day's only child, Terry Melcher, was born on February 8, 1942. He grew up to become a successful music producer, known for his work with the Byrds, the Beach Boys, and Paul Revere and the Raiders. Terry was a pivotal figure in the 1960s music scene, contributing significantly to the era's sound. Doris Day and her son shared an exceptionally close bond. Terry often described their relationship as one where he played the parent role, particularly in managing Doris's career after her third husband, Martin Melcher, passed away in 1968. Martin's death revealed severe financial mismanagement, which left Doris in substantial debt. Terry stepped in to help his mother navigate these challenges, playing a critical role in her career decisions, including her reluctant participation in the Doris Day show. A dark chapter in Terry Melcher's life was his association with Charles Manson. Terry first met Manson through Dennis Wilson, the drummer of the Beach Boys. Manson, an aspiring musician, hoped Terry would help him secure a record deal. Initially, Terry considered working with Manson, even contemplating making a documentary about Manson and his followers, known as the Manson family. However, after witnessing Manson's violent behavior during a visit to the Spahn Ranch, Terry decided against signing him. This rejection infuriated Manson, who harbored a deep grudge against Terry. Manson believed that his dreams of musical stardom were shattered because of Terry's decision. The culmination of this grudge was the infamous Tate murders in 1969. At the time of the murders, Terry had already moved out of his rental home at 150 Cielo Drive in Benedict Canyon, Los Angeles. His mother, Doris Day, had insisted he relocate after learning about Manson's dangerous behavior and threats. Doris's intuition and insistence likely saved her son's life. On August 9, 1969, Manson's followers brutally murdered actress Sharon Tate and 4 others at the house where Terry had once lived. Following the murders, Doris Day and Terry Melcher lived under constant protection due to Manson's grudge against Terry. Despite these harrowing experiences, Terry continued to manage his mother's career and supported her through various professional endeavors. Terry Melcher passed away on November 19, 2004, after battling melanoma. Doris Day expressed profound sorrow over the loss of her son, whom she considered her best friend. She dedicated the song My Buddy to him, reflecting the deep bond they shared. In a 2011 interview, Doris spoke about how much she missed Terry and how significant he was in her life. In her later years, Doris Day became a prominent advocate for animal welfare, a passion that began as early as the 1950s. While filming the suspense thriller The Man Who Knew Too Much, Doris was horrified by the mistreatment of animals in the marketplace scenes. Her distress was so profound that she refused to continue filming unless the animals were properly cared for and provided with feeding stations where they were fed daily before shooting continued. Nearly 20 years later, in 1971, she co-founded Actors and Others for Animals, alongside Hollywood stars like Angie Dickinson, Mary Tyler Moore, and Jane Meadows. This organization aimed to protect animals and raise awareness about the ethical treatment of animals, including advocating against wearing fur. In 1978, Doris Day established the Doris Day Pet Foundation, an independent nonprofit dedicated to promoting animal welfare. This organization, now known as the Doris Day Animal Foundation, DDF, operates alongside another of her initiatives, the Doris Day Animal League, which she founded in 1987. Her commitment extended beyond animal welfare. She also played a role in raising awareness and funds for HIV/AIDS research and support. Unlike many Hollywood stars who continue acting into their later years, Doris Day chose to retire in her early 50s. She shifted her focus to living as an animal welfare activist and maintaining close family ties. After her retirement, she lived a peaceful life in her home in Carmel-by-the-Sea, California, where she was surrounded by her beloved pets and adopted stray animals. This serene lifestyle allowed her to dedicate herself fully to the causes she cared deeply about. On May 13, 2019, Doris Day passed away at the age of 97. Her passing marked the end of an era, but her legacy lives on through her contributions to music, film, and animal rights advocacy. However, in keeping with her private nature, Doris Day made a surprising decision regarding the arrangements following her death. According to her friend and manager, Bob Bashara, Doris Day had made it clear in her will that she did not want any funeral, memorial service, or grave marker. This decision was not made out of fear or negativity, but reflected Doris Day's personal beliefs. She did not like to talk about death and did not see the need for elaborate ceremonies or markers. Doris Day's decision was also influenced by her experiences in her final years. In the later years of her life, Doris Day experienced significant personal losses. The death of her only son, Terry Melcher, in 2004, deeply affected her. This tragedy strained her relationship with her grandson, Ryan Melcher. Ryan publicly claimed on Facebook that Bob Bashara, Doris Day's longtime manager, had prevented him from seeing his grandmother in her final years. According to Ryan, despite arranging a dinner with Doris Day, Bashara intervened and denied him access, citing family drama and his parents' divorce as reasons. This estrangement added to the heartbreak Ryan felt after losing his father. Ryan, who works as a real estate agent in Carmel by the Sea, California, also accused Bashara of manipulating Doris Day and isolating her from her family. He claimed that Bashara replaced board members of Doris Day's Animal Rescue Foundation with his own family members. This public statement was shocking, as Ryan had previously not spoken out about his famous grandmother. Despite these allegations, Doris Day's publicist, Charlie Cullen Walters, mentioned efforts to contact Ryan for family events, but no response was received. Doris Day was known for her trusting nature, which unfortunately led to manipulations in her life. This pattern of being taken advantage of seemed to continue even after her death, causing a rift between her friends and family members who accused each other of mistreatment. Despite facing numerous challenges and tragedies, Doris Day maintained her faith and continued to contribute to the arts and animal welfare. Her life story is one of resilience, talent, and compassion. Her legacy will always be remembered and honored. What aspects of her life impress you? Share your thoughts in the comments below and keep the conversation going. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire and entertain. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Goodbye.